Whoopsie daisy.
Da ba da.
Da ba da.
Or just whatever.
Scat.
Just say something.
1, 2, 3, scat.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Da
Da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Doobity.
All hands out to pay, sow it all the way in the pit for good. Oh please.
Garrett Sherwood is a name that I've heard.
It's got a ring
recently?
to it, right?
No, over the last 5 years consistently.
Whoa.
Well,
I don't know about that.
This is the Couch series. Thank you for watching.
we're rolling.
We've been rolling.
Rock and roll.
How long have we been rolling?
This is Garrett
Because
Sherwood
it's... Hi.
and Ryan Hayes.
Well,
and
who am I looking at?
Anyone.
Look at the
All of
microphone.
it. And they are the founders of Deep Love, the folk opera that is every Halloween season
Yeah.
in Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a rock opera these
Yeah,
days,
it's-
honestly.
Oh.
It started folky, but
Because we didn't have a lot of stuff. We just kind of beat on things.
yeah.
That's what folk
That's-
means. Not a lot
We
of
have
stuff.
more money now so we can plug in our instruments.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. The transition from folk to rock and roll is actually quite simple.
Yeah,
Plugging in.
Yeah.
Okay.
basically.
Done. Figured that out. End of the interview. Thank you. What is Deep Love? So it's a rock opera, we've decided.
It is a rock opera.
A Halloween rock opera.
Yes, very much.
Halloween, yeah, very Halloween-y.
Whose idea was it?
It was a collective idea. We were roommates. This was way back in
10.
Hot 10,
Yeah.
Rexburg, Idaho.
Wow.
We were
Well,
roommates.
9 really, because Garrett he taught me, he showed me what a
Yeah.
rock opera was
Right.
in 9.
At the very
How
end of
did you
Hot
show
9,
him?
I called him and said, look up this one rock opera.
Which rock opera?
This was by the Decemberists. What's the name of that?
The Hazards of Love.
The Hazards of Love by
Wow, it
Decemberists.
stuck with you.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening. I was in California for New Year's and I was listening to it, and then I said, Ryan, we should write one like this.
Except ours turned out to be much more theatrical.
Yeah.
Because The Hazards of Love is just like an album. It's a
Yeah,
concept
it's a
album. Is
concept.
really what it is.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a story and then it ends abruptly. We started writing for it and we started developing these characters, and then everything kind of was elongated. It turned into a big story with a big arc, and it evolved. It took 9 months to write, but the thing ended up being monumental. So we ended up bringing in tons of people
Wow.
to play the parts and stuff, and then people kept jumping on board, so we had to write parts for strings or brass or stuff, and it just kind of took off. So it wasn't anything like a concept album. It's a theatrical piece.
Yeah.
That is...
We are artistes.
I know. Oh, I know. Just our small encounter has taught me that. Magicians. Artistic. No, magicians. Artistes. I'm sorry. Messed up. For the people that have never heard of Deep Love, what is the storyline? What can they expect coming?
Well, it starts off with a ghost. And he's singing to his still living love. Her name is Constance.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in love. She's really sad, though, because he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
And along comes this other character named Friedrich, who's like, no rock and roll. And he's like, hey, little girl. And she swoons for him, and he steals her heart, and they fall in love.
Is he based off of Mick Jagger?
Not even close.
Okay.
Not even remotely.
There are pleather pants that he wears on stage.
Pleather pants.
Or
So-
like-
and he's not even
He's
close
based
to
off-
Mick Jagger? Who's he
Okay,
based
so-
off of?
It's a little
Harry
Mick Jagger.
Styles.
He's based off of Garrett Sherwood.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Is that how you found your wife?
Biographical.
Hey, little girl.
Well, because
more or less.
Garrett, this is the beginning. In the early days, we had actually delineated who was writing what parts.
Okay.
And so Garrett was like, I'm going to write the parts for this heroic figure. and then
It's
it
just
ended
his
up being
journal.
about himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was writing the parts for the ghost. And
And that was your journal.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh.
And then things got crazy.
Yeah.
Because you had to...
It all kind of changed. And
Yeah.
the character I wrote has actually become my least favorite.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we didn't get to the good part.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay, get to the good part.
So the character I play and the girl Constance, they fall in love, And then there's another person, her name is Florence, who's the character.
Wait.
Well, I got to put this part in first.
Okay.
Because you got to layer it.
Ryan?
Because you have Constance, and then the guy plays Friedrich. They fall in love. And then there's Florence, who's Friedrich's ex-lover, and she's like crazy, like psychotic, and she's really jealous. But then the ghost comes back. His name is Old Bones.
You can't give the story away, though.
No, this is just the
Okay.
setup. This is just the setup. The story hasn't even really started yet. Old Bones gets so mad and appears to Constance in a vision and tells him, he tells her basically like, you have to leave this guy or I'm going to ruin all your lives. And so she's put in a tough situation.
That's
So what would you
leave it
do?
at that. That's where the story takes off.
So what would you do? Would you say okay and try to save the life of your living lover to appease the demands of your evil ex-lover who's dead? Or would you defy your dead love and risk losing your living love?
I'm like, I don't even know what love is, so I can't even answer that question. That is way too overwhelming.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think we should talk. I think we should have the rest of the interview just be about me now.
Okay.
So,
Well, I guess you're wondering why we asked you to come. And why you're sitting in between us.
thanks.
Go ahead, try and get up and leave. Go ahead.
I'm too nervous. Back to what you were saying earlier, how this has just exploded. Did you see this being this big? Like you having a show every single year, like a season.
Yeah.
And you have a venue, and it's big, and people like order tons of months in advance.
No.
What did you imagine when you first did this?
Let me tell you what Garrett and I used to do. What Garrett did when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Garrett's a beat poet. A
I'm
beatnik.
really excited about that.
Yeah. He does, he's like Jack Kerouac, and he's like,
Wow,
he wears,
I like Jack Kerouac. That's a
he
big
wears
statement.
like sandals all the time, and he
Jack
eats,
Kerouac wore
he
sandals
eats
all the time.
vegan stuff. Jack Kerouac did that. Anyway, we had Garrett and I. There's a very small music scene in Rexburg, and so naturally, all of the musicians gravitate to one area, and they all kind of collaborate. At the time when we were writing Deep Love, we actually were at the height of our musical careers individually. Garrett and I, plus a bunch of other friends combined, and we did this big celebration of life and friendship.
Oh.
And everybody played, and it was like.
It was like a 5-hour concert.
It was like a 5-hour
Sounds
concert.
beautiful. Was that your idea?
It was.
Probably.
I bet it was.
It wasn't
you
that
write
cool.
poetry.
But it was terrible. But it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
But it was terrible.
But it was terrible
Yeah.
because we weren't working together, right?
Right.
So once Deep Love came along, all of these same friends that we had in our circle, they just started kind of congregating around Deep Love.
Okay.
And we just kind of, everybody had a kind of a responsibility. You know, one
Okay.
person be the guitarist, another be the drummer, or just
We
everything
started-
that needs.
We started
That's
a family.
really cool. Yeah, you took your community and brought it into this.
Yeah, and back to your question, we thought we would play it once and never again, and but with this family sort of started and sort of grew organically, and people like we could not have done this show in the first couple of years without all volunteer because we didn't pay anybody a dime.
Yeah.
But all our friends were just so willing and loving and gave to the show their time and talents, and that's what made the show explode.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
I know, it's touching.
And now it's on a huge scale. Now it's rock and roll and
Rock
not
and
folk
roll.
because it's on a big scale.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Bob Dylan, you still were good.
Hey, he
Even
went
though-
electric too.
Yeah.
Would you still call him rock and roll though?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So what can we expect this season with Deep Love? What's different? Anything different?
Well, we are. We're doing a show in Idaho Falls, and we're doing a show in Salt Lake City. We're doing less shows this year than before, though.
Oh no.
In order to make room for, we're going to the Arts Northwest Festival in Eugene,
Okay.
Oregon, and that's really exciting. And but it costs a lot of money. Like drive, we have to get like 20 people there and back, and so that's our big project this year, so that we can continue to grow. But that means tickets are going to come at a commodity this year. So
Mhm.
maybe one show in Idaho, one show. In
We're gonna
Salt
sell
Lake.
out for
That's
sure.
crazy. So when can they start buying tickets?
That
Is
is a
it-
good question. Check our website.
Check our
I
website.
don't know when this is going to
Is-
air.
By the time this aired, you should probably have already purchased your tickets, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
by the
I
time
would,
this
I would hope
airs,
so. I would
Yes.
imagine they're going to be for sale.
Yes.
Go to www.deeploveopera.com.
So if you go to our website, you can download a live version of the show, which we did last year with our all-star cast: Garrett Sherwood, John Peter Lewis as Old Bones, Savannah Berry as Constance, and Provo's own Amy Wickham as Florence.
That is very exciting. We all love her.
Do you love her?
We all love
have
her.
Have you had her here?
We haven't had her here, but I've seen her.
You should.
We should have her here.
She's
Is she here?
She's a blast.
yeah, she's here in Provo.
Well, maybe we'll call her up then.
You
Amy,
really ought to.
Amy, thank
She's
you.
a nice person.
Are there any other perks of anything? Anything else you want to share?
Any perks? Perks to rolling with me?
Perks to rolling with you.
Of course.
Yes,
I
tell us about you.
I treat my friends very well.
Sorry.
That's all I'm saying.
So that's a thing. So keep that in mind when you watch this video and when you want to go see Deep Love.
We'll be your friend.
Yeah.
I don't know about him. I don't know. There's been a lot of discrepancy about you trying to establish any friendship with your best friend.
Garrett's got a lot of walls.
Yeah,
But,
but he doesn't.
In the inside, he's very soft.
But he writes slam poetry. Can we plug your books?
Buy my books.
He's written 2 poetry books. They're on Amazon.
Yeah.
Garrett Sherwood.
Yeah, that's it. I put a lot of time into them.
One of them is
He'd
called...
really like it if you bought them.
The most recent one is All These Hands Are Tree Trunks, and I spent over a year and a half on it. So.
Oh.
And the other one is called...
Trust Falls into Wet Cement, which I only spent about 3 weeks on.
Okay, so don't buy that one as
Buy
much as
buy
the
the
other
new
one.
one.
Yeah.
They're both pretty good. I
Yeah.
have both of them.
Oh, you do? And you read them a lot? Okay, good. What other things should we plug for you?
Well, I guess I just...
He's a good friend.
Sugarhouse.
Oh, yeah. I have an album. It's true, though. I made an album with my band Midas Whale,
Woo!
of which Garrett is not a part.
Oh. But you're not a part of the
But he
poetry
doesn't
thing,
care.
so it's
They
okay.
didn't ask me.
It's okay, because he doesn't
I do,
care.
I do care a little.
But you didn't even ask him. I'm so happy we're getting this worked
You're-
out.
You know, we've never had this talk
You,
either.
you would be... you're happy where you are.
Well, that's true. I am happy.
You probably
where-
wouldn't be happy in Midas Whale.
Wow,
It
you're
depends.
like dictating
It
so many of his emotions.
It depends.
Kidding me?
I know him so well.
It depends on some things.
Yeah, the things and the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, back to...
Midas Whale has an album called Sugarhouse, and all of you, your viewers are mostly Provoians, right?
That's so true. Provoians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, so the Provoians should be familiar with the band Fictionist.
They are.
Okay, this album is actually the secret Fictionist album.
Pretty
Because they play like every instrument on the album. I wrote the song. Me and John wrote the songs, and because Stuart Maxfield produced it, basically he's the master of the whole thing. Is just his puppet
So
show.
it's basically not your album.
Well, it is because
You
I
sort
wrote
of
songs that I
but
sing.
he produced it.
He did, yes, but but it's really cool, and I think you would enjoy it if you like either folk music or Western music. It's got a little both.
Or
It's
the
got a-
Provo music scene. Because that kind of embodies.
Yeah, they
all of
did. They
that.
do the Indies and Cowboys. We did the Cowboys this year.
Oh.
At the Velour.
Oh.
Mm. That
Wow.
was a lot of fun.
So this is a face you will recognize.
Yeah, I used to have much longer facial hair and head hair.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's
so that's
good
why
to
you
note.
don't recognize me right now.
And that's probably why you look more like Rupert Grint than you have in a long
I
time.
don't know who that is.
He's Ron Weasley. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I don't know how to end that. Poem go. This is the worst ending we've ever had.
We can still
could
do a better ending.
We could do a 1, 2, 3.
That was it. That was it. You kind of look like Ron Weasley.
Thank you.
So,
That's my least favorite
Yeah,
character.
no, you don't.
All right.
ouch.
Thank you, Garrett. See, this is where we prove our friendship with things like that.
Why did you just lie to him and tell him he didn't look like
Because
Robbie's face?
he doesn't.
You kind of have a Rupert
He
Grint
looks
thing.
like Carrie Elwes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Princess and the Bride.
Princess
you
and the
said
Bride.
that.
And if you say anything else, you're lying. 'Cause
I could see that too.
I also look like William H. Macy.
You do?
I see that.
Wow.
You say
You
it.
should see me when I have a mustache.
yeah, when you have a mustache,
Do you want to go shave it right
it's
now?
all William H. Macy.
Sure.
Okay.